People confuse me for a foreigner all the time. Like literally, I can't even go buy tomatoes in peace. Local shops start scamming me, charging me touristy prices because apparently I look like I'm from Iran or Russia or somewhere foreign according to them. And then I have to open my mouth and go on full Kannada mode. ಏನ್ರಿ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಬಾಯಿ ಬಂದಂಗ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? And only then they're like, okay, she's a local. It's ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗಿ. For the record, I am very much Kannadiga. My mother tongue is Navaiti. It's kind of like a mix of Konkani and Arabic. I also speak English, Urdu, Hindi, Kannada. And if you gossip in Tamil or Malayalam around me, I would know that too. So yeah, that is me. Welcome to my channel. Since this is my first YouTube video, I just thought I'll sit down and tell you my whole story because honestly, I think most of y'all know me from Instagram. But for those who don't, hi, I'm Romana Harris. I know most of y'all know my name, but let's just pretend we don't, okay? It's going to be a long and messy story and I hope I don't bore you all. I was born in a small town near Gokarna, but I grew up in Coorg almost my entire life till 2nd PUC. Then I moved to Mysore for my graduation and post-graduation, and I also worked there in Wipro for like 2 years. And after that, I moved to Bangalore in April 2016, and ever since Bangalore has been a home. And like most people, I did the 9 to 5 job for almost 6 years before I finally quit and started something on my own. I worked as a data scientist, and at first I was terrible at my job, and no, I did not take any certifications or courses to be a data scientist. I just always believed the best way to learn something is to quit the big corporate companies and work in small startups. In startups, you actually own the job. You can't hide, you can't run away, you have to learn, you will mess up things, but you will survive. There was this one point I even got myself fired because I wanted to travel abroad and I hated the job and the people. If any of my colleagues and bosses are watching this video, just know that I hated you all, okay? Just kidding, but not really. That said, I eventually fell in love with being a data scientist. I had a fancy salary. I also traveled abroad for work, and yet I can't just stick to one thing. I don't know if it's just part of being a woman or if it's just me. I'm not sure. So while I was doing my 9 to 5, I also had this part-time thing called Doodle Ninja. I loved doodling. I still do. I used to doodle people's life stories, their love story and vision boards, everything customized. After office hours, I'd come back home and do this. I was truly passionate about it. I still am. I used to call myself engineer by day and ninja by night. And in 2017, I also started my fitness journey. I started with martial arts. I also competed twice, and eventually I moved to weight training, and ever since I've never quit. In mid 2018, I finally quit my full-time job to do Doodle Ninja full-time. And yes, looking back, I think I did a classic mistake. You should always have steady income for at least 6 months from your part-time before you actually quit your full-time, which is actually giving you constant salary every month. But the only thing that saved me from real trouble was my savings from 9 to 5. I had enough to survive for about a year if I was really careful about my spending. So I moved into this tiny, shabby little room. I had to pay only 5,000 rupees as my rent per month. Those first few months were really tough. I regretted quitting my full-time job more times than I can count. Every now and then I had this voice in my head saying, maybe you should go back to your 9 to 5. But the thought of working under someone again, I just couldn't. And here's a little truth bomb before I continue my story. If you're not self-driven or you cannot motivate yourself on your own, do not quit your 9 to 5. It's not your thing. You will need a boss breathing down your neck, telling you what to do, because running a business will eat you alive. I, on the other hand, I hate being bossed around like most of y'all, but I am very self-driven. I can motivate myself. I don't need external motivation to do something. And I'm a kind of a girl who loves structure and routine in life. And that's one of the reasons why I quit my 9 to 5, because I knew I can do this on my own. So for about a year and a half, I mostly survived on my savings while making very little from Doodle Ninja. And then in 2019, I also started investing in crypto. The little money that I was making from Doodle Ninja, I started investing it. At the same time, I was also learning crypto trading, like basics of technical analysis, fundamental analysis, Elliott wave, and all that stuff. I was terrible at it in the beginning. I started trading with just $50 to see where I stand and what I do with it. In 1 week, I made $500 out of it. And the other week, with just one trade, I completely blew my account. I got liquidated. So I decided to just not burn my hands and my money, and decided to continue investing in crypto. In 2019 bear market, I got so many tokens for discount. I still remember ETH was just at $110 or something. So this was all in 2019. Then 2020 hit and we all know what happened. COVID hit and lockdown was announced. I remember one night at 3 a.m. I was having this full-blown panic attack. I was sitting on my terrace staring at the sky with my journal in my lap. I prayed so hard and said, I just want to get out of this shithole. I want to live somewhere close to nature. I want a cat as my baby and I want to make so much money that I will never have money problems again. And you know what happened? Out of nowhere, Doodle Ninja started picking up. Orders were pouring in and I was making 1 to 1.5 lakhs per month. Exactly a month later, I moved into this Lakeview apartment in Bangalore, and it didn't even feel like Bangalore because it was so green and peaceful. I could hear peacocks every day. Also, I've always loved being alone, so I never had the problem with that. So suddenly I was in this beautiful big apartment in Bangalore, making money from home. And soon I was making like 3 to 4 lakhs per month consistently. Of course, it wasn't a steady salary like 9 to 5. The money completely depended on how many orders I took. But I loved the hustle. I loved working hard and I genuinely loved every bit of it. And 1 month later, an angel appeared on my doorstep. She was a stray cat. I named her Kitty and officially I was a cat mama. I think all my prayers had been answered, and ever since then I've made it a point to pray every single day, and not just when I want something but as a daily practice because it keeps me grounded. Then in December 2020, when I was in that new apartment, bull market started. For anybody who doesn't know crypto lingual jargon, bull market means the market is going up and the bear market means the market is going down. But the cool part is you can trade in both the market conditions by longing and shorting. And I think 2020 was the luckiest year of my life, and in 2021 I have worked harder than I ever have and I made so much money than I ever imagined. I don't think anyone in my entire family lineage has made as much money in their entire lives as I made that year. And here's the real lesson, okay? Working hard doesn't always mean you're making a lot of money. I've always worked hard, but 2021 was the year where it all came together. So I applied for visas for Turkey, Georgia and many other countries, but the second lockdown was hit and no country was letting us in. So I just packed my bags and moved to Goa instead permanently on my birthday in December 2021. At that time, I honestly thought I'm never coming back to Bangalore. My plan was to just chill in Goa, live there, work from there until things get settled and then move abroad from there. But as usual, life had other plans for me. See, you can make all the plans you want, but life does its own thing and you have to make peace with it. In the last week of January 2022, my boyfriend back then, who is now my husband, his dad passed away and I had to rush to Delhi with him for the funeral. And on the third day of the funeral, we got married. Can you believe it? I never thought I would get married. He's the love of my life, but all I wanted to do was make a lot of money and travel the world. I was 32 back then and it was his dad's last wish for us to get married. So yeah. That was that. So after the wedding, I came back to Goa and I stayed there for a month or two just to process what was happening in my life. It was all so fast. And well, now that I was married, I had responsibilities. I couldn't just pack my bags and move to another country. So the next year or two was tough. Very tough, I wouldn't lie. My husband went through depression and I had to be there for him. I had responsibilities. I was not single anymore. And that situation changed me in ways I did not even expect. Only thing that I really wanted in life was to make a lot of money and travel the world without having to worry about coming back home. And it still is. The goal is still the same. But I don't want to travel like a tourist. I hate the idea. I want to live there like a local, learn the language, eat their food, and have the same routine that I'm having here. Work from there, just the change in scenery. Here we are. Instead of being sad that I can't do what I wanted, I just kept my head down. I worked hard and sailed through both the bad days and the good days. And now in 2025, I'm reaping all the benefits of all the silent work that I put in for almost 8 years. I moved into this new home in Feb with my husband. It's very special to us because it's our first new home. We picked almost everything ourselves instead of hiring an interior designer. There's still a lot of things pending, but we are taking it slow. We had to move out of the rental home quickly, so we just came in when the house was incomplete. Maybe I'll do a house tour video when I'm getting things done. I also bought my very first new car, and yes, I'm still an elbowed. I still don't know how to drive properly. Honestly, I would have loved buying a bike instead. I wanted to actually buy a super bike this year, but I instead chose to buy a car because I wanted my husband also to drive a good car. Bike can wait. I also have two more cats now, Mowgli and Simba. I'm officially a cat mama of 3. No, I don't have kids yet because I don't think I can take that kind of stress right now in my life. Also, my Instagram blew up this year. I went from 11k followers to 100k followers in the span of just 3 months. And of course, now I have 3 jobs because you know me, I can't just do one thing. I still do Doodle Ninja, although I take very limited orders because the other 2 jobs keeps me busy. The other 2 are crypto trading and content creation. Some days the workload gets me a little mad, but I'm not complaining because it makes me a lot of money. My mouth is literally hurting by talking so much. What else is there for y'all to know about me? Well, I love being alone. No matter how much married I am, from time to time I still go out alone, eat alone, chill alone, drink alone. That's just how I recharge myself. I just want to share my story here, the ups and downs and everything in between. So if you like me and want to know more about my life, content creation, money, crypto trading, travel, and the random things that I do, just click subscribe and like this video so that it motivates me to do more such long format videos for you guys. Mostly it's going to be content which I don't usually post on Instagram. I hope I really didn't bore you guys. I know that was a lot of talking, but thank you for listening to me ramble, and don't worry, next time I'll try to talk less, maybe. Okay? Bye.